Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you why I bought a Louis Vuitton SLG, all the reasons, all the things it ticks off the list, and why I bought a small leather good from them for the first time in about 2 years, because I definitely, in general, don't need more SLGs, but this just was like the SLG that I would dream up if I was designing things at Louis Vuitton, and I felt that the price point was pretty friendly for Louis Vuitton, so I'm distracted by these magpies running around on my lawn. And also, at the second part of the video, I'm just going to talk to you about my Pochette Metis, because I had it sent away for repair, and I've got it back, and I'm just so happy to have it back that I wanted to share that with you. And my experience of that repair was quite a positive one, which I know sometimes on here, brand story times can be more negative experiences, so I just wanted to balance that out. Anyway, and also having this bag on hand really demonstrates some aspects of the usefulness of this SLG. So if that's something you're interested in, please stay tuned and let's dive in. So I bought this item online from the Louis Vuitton website, and obviously when it came, I had my invoice or receipt thing in here, and then the box was wrapped with this nice blue branded ribbon and this kind of tag thing that you can write a gift message in or whatever. And it came in this small drawer box. This is a new piece recently released, I believe. And it came in this dust bag. And the item I got was the new Pochette clay or key clay in the small size. But you'll see it is not small compared with the regular key pouch that we've known and loved for years. So there's the tag, Pochette clay S, and it's M13559. Okay, so you've got the lovely gold zipper with the small zipper tag that says LV on both sides, and then you've got this clip, which is very useful indeed, and a small length chain. And inside this one, you've got a kind of card slot there, just one card slot and then an open area. And I was just, I've brought some other examples to show you. I love this size pouch. I find it the perfect size. It's a bit bigger than the normal key clay, but it's not so big that it's going to be bulky inside your bags. So why did I buy it? I've got several reasons. Okay, the first reason, and I'm looking around for my keys and I don't see them, and I got them out ready. Are they back in here? Yes. So here is my old Louis Vuitton key clay, and I love it, but it's definitely seen better days. I'm just going to hold them up for a size comparison, but we'll do that again properly in a minute. See what I mean? It's a lot bigger. This is a great thing to have a credit card, some bills, some coins, whatever you want. You can use it as a catch-all. When I travel and I don't need a full-on wallet, well, I never really need a full-on wallet anymore. I mean, this was last used when we went in December to Disneyland Paris, and that's why it's got euros and a Disney Magic Pass and some things like that in there. So I'll take those out, and some loose euro coins. Now, what I tend to do is have the chain out, and you can see there's just a clog from my daughter's trip to Holland last year, and I've now got another clog from my trip to Holland the other week. But anyway, imagine this is my bunch of keys and it's on there, especially if you're going to add your key fob. If you want to put everything inside, including the chain, and zip it up, if you've got a key fob on there, I mean, there's just that little clog on there and it's already a bit bulgy. If I want to put my keys inside, it's just not really big enough. So it's a key pouch that you can't put your keys in unless you take them all off the ring. It's just, I found that it not really fit for purpose for that task. So as I said, I used to put flat things in here and then have my keys hanging off, which is fine. But if you partly want a key holder to protect the inside of your bag, like if you've got a bag that's lined in leather and you don't want your keys scratching, then this, in a way, isn't really suitable for that. So I have a 4-ring key holder from Louis Vuitton, and I have a 6-ring key holder, and I do have phases of enjoying them, and at the moment I've been like kind of bored of them, so I have not been using them. So I just thought that this, being a bit bigger, would be a one and done. And by that I mean, I'm just gonna, should have taken this tag off before we started because it's all tangled up now. So let's just, I mean, they're not in an ideal configuration because this loop is a bit too big for this thing from Volvo, but let's just chuck them on like that, right? So you've got your key pouch and you've got your keys. And I think that because this is just much bigger, I could just drop that in there, and probably with other items as well. There's loads of space and it's just all in there. I could also fit in there other items, but that main point of difference for me is pretty crucial, that my keys can go on the chain, but inside the clay easily. So let's talk about this if you want to use it as more of a catch-all to organize small items inside your bag. I like the fact that it is so flat. I've got here a my mini pochette from Louis Vuitton. Mine is in damier ebene. And from this angle, they are similar in size. The pochette, the mini pochette is a tiny bit bigger perhaps, but maybe just because it's kind of bulging, but it's a lot wider, and so you can fit more in there. I have a lot of bags that are, I have several bags that are very similar to this Pochette Metis in that you've got several sort of slim divided sections. And sometimes, like today, I wanted to put my toiletry 15 down in here next to my mini agenda, and it was just a bit bulky and thick. Whereas this one, because it's so slim, like in that slimmer section at the back of a YSL college bag, it's flexible and squishy, and you can fit stuff in, but it's still narrow, so it's going to sit nicely in an area like that. So you could put several things in here. I'm just going to gather up some stuff to put in. So I've got my key fob and my house key and my AirPods. That fits fine. Or I always carry Smints with me, so I could put my Smints and my Dior lip glow in there, and then slot that in there. You know, I could fit a Band-Aid in there, and you know, maybe a couple of tissues, whatever, if you want to use it as a catch-all, headache tablets, lip balm, that kind of thing. And it's still really slim and neat that way. So in here, we are going to put a bank card in that slot, which I can verify is easy to, you know, I thought this might get in the way, but it's easy to get there. We're going to put some folded bills, and we're going to put my bunch of keys, which I'm going to attach to the hook first. And then we're going to zip it up. And that is everything apart from my phone that I would need. Or you can not use this to actually attach your keys to. You could put your keys down in there and have that out and attach that to the inside of a bag, or I don't know, on your belt loop, and then tuck this into your pocket, whatever you need to do to feel like it's secure. As I said, I've got a Neverfull, I've got a Fur Lepage tote that are open, and I do need to use SLGs that attach to the inside of the bag. Otherwise, I'm worried that someone could just lift them out. So I'm very excited about this. A lot of functionality, very similar to some other ones I'm going to show you, but it has a card slot and it has a hook. It's brilliant. So I have collected 4 of the Mulberry coin. I don't know what they even call this, a coin pouch. And I like getting fun colours in this one. So I have one with silver hardware, which is like a aqua, like minty colour. These ones have a zip across the top. They're leather lined inside in either the same colour, sometimes in a contrasting colour. And their card slot is on the outside, so it's really easy to get the card in and out. So I have that one. I have a purple one with the gold plaque. Lastly, this one's a little bit different in that it's a lot flatter. It's just got glazing around the edge. It doesn't have the return style stitching that means it's a bit more flexible and stretchy. And my favourite, one of my real treasures, because I only have, I think 3 Chanel, maybe 4 SLGs. This is my Chanel O case, which is a tiny bit bigger, I think. Not significantly, maybe a centimetre bigger. But again, these have card slots, but no key hook. This has no card slot and no key hook, but it's just beautiful. It's like the micro caviar, so it's very soft. So I already knew I loved these, and I can use one of these as a catch-all. I can use these as a wallet. I don't mind just looking and seeing cards stacked with some money. I don't really feel the need to use all the little individual sections in a wallet. So these work great for me. But these are all leather, and therefore you have to maybe take a little bit more care. Especially the ones that are lighter colours. This one was just really expensive, so I only use it in certain situations or in certain bags. And I just think that this being monogram canvas, again, having a card slot, being leather lined, so that if you spill anything in there, like, I don't know, if the lid comes off of a mini hand cream or something, you can just sort it out. And having this is actually the game changer, because you can hook your keys on it if you've got a lot of other stuff in here and you want to attach them, but you don't want to have room for them in there, or for security if you want to hook this onto a bag or something. This in the UK was $270 or $275, $270, I believe, which is still expensive, but I think for a really practical everyday item, I'm happy to pay that. So there you go. That is my new SLG, and now I've shared it with you, I can actually put my stuff in it and start using it. So one thing I will say, I just checked the piece over because I opened it with you really. I had a very brief look the other day, and that's why the ribbon wasn't on the box. It doesn't really bother me, but in case it bothers you, things to look out for when you're checking the quality of this are that the print is nicely aligned, so that like you could see that these designs are cut off. You know, they're not like one is showing and it's cut on the slant. They are nicely matched up here from the 2 pieces where they've like cut the canvas, so I'm happy with that. And then I'm just going to talk to you about the repair that I had done on this one, and then show you how I pack it for like everyday use. So what happened was, there's a twilly on it at the moment, but the top handle of a Pochette Metis is attached by these 2 leather loops, so you can't take it off or whatever. And I noticed in October when I went to pack this bag to use on a trip to London for a few days, that the edges of this loop and the sides of the actual handle sort of, it can move because it's not fixed. The loops are there, but this can move within it. And where those things have been rubbing together, the edges of both pieces, the glazing had gone, and the edge of the actual leather, where the different layers are sandwiched together, was starting to show wear in quite an alarming way, and I'd never noticed. So I took it on that trip, but wrapped up to hand over, and I took it to Selfridges out of choice. You can go to any location. It doesn't have to be where you bought the bag. I took it to Selfridges because I honestly feel like you don't have to wait very long usually. They have the iPad kind of queue system, but you don't have to wait that long. They have a lot of client advisors, and I find it more organised and sort of fair than some of the other locations like Bond Street or within Harrods. So I've always had good service there. They looked at it, they said the whole handle needed to be replaced and these 2 loops needed to be replaced, and that there'd be a cost, because the bag was now more than a year or 2 old, of about £200 to £250 was the estimate. And I was a bit fed up because although I've had this bag for 4 or 5 years, I've probably used it 25 times, and that's not heavy use. That's a month maximum, and that's a big estimate of daily use. So because I have a lot of bags and I rotate them, I don't really use anything really heavily. So when I explained that, and then they got a manager to just look over the bag overall, and he said, yeah, the bag is in really pristine condition. There's no wear anywhere else except for that area. He felt that it wasn't right that it had done that quickly, and probably it was one of the issues with that you can get with Louis Vuitton glazing. With sometimes they're not really completely cured, a bit like when you get a gel manicure. So any friction or change in temperature can cause it to break down. Anyway, so they said they would do it for free. They also said it would be 12 to 16 weeks was the current wait time to get something back. They have to send it to France and stuff like that. And I got my bag back in about 8 weeks, I think. It was, hang on, middle of October. Yeah, nine weeks. I got the bag back like a week after Christmas or a few days after New Year. I had excellent communication. I had several email updates. And then when the bag arrived back in Selfridges, I noticed that she emailed me the very same day that they got it back, and photos showing close-ups of what they'd done and was I happy, giving me the option to come and collect it in store or to have it sent here to my home for free next day courier, which I opted for. So I just wanted to say that that was a very positive repair experience. You know, these things can show wear and tear or can get problems that are not your fault, or it is just from natural wear and tear, and they will help you. And again, they have like some discretion. I think I was obviously, I mean, some people get bad experiences. It's not always consistent, but if you are polite and respectful and honest, you'll probably get what you need. So having it back, I really missed it actually. It's a really practical everyday bag, but I think it still feels special. It goes with loads because it's just black and gold. I like dressing it up with a twilly because it looks more playful, because being quite plain, it can look a bit more serious than the monogram one. And the only thing I think that the monogram one has as an advantage over this bag is I do love that microfiber lining, and this has more of a textured, slightly rougher feeling striped cotton lining, but I mean that's on the inside of the bag. So you've got, you know, this bag, you've got lots of different sections, 2 main sections, a little slip in the back, very similar to my college bag, and this one has a zipped pocket on the back. So I'm going to show you how I pack it and fit everything in this bag for like my daily needs. My agenda PM. Okay, so just put that there a second. I've got my mini pochette, and in there I'm going to put today's like makeup essentials. I am wearing, like I am most days, my Tom Ford Soleil Neige Blush Highlight Duo in this compact. I like this because I could just tap it on with my fingers. I love that. And then my lip product, which I'm also loving at the minute, is one of these lip glows from Dior in the berry shade. You know how a lot of people say they all look the same, they're not pigmented? Well, this one is the perfect berry, and it tastes like a Werther's Original in that it's minty, but it's like caramelly, vanilla-y as well. So I'm going to put that in there and that in there, and my little Chanel nail file that I found. And that is going to go in that section at the back, which is definitely the biggest section, upright next to the agenda. And then in the next section at the front, I've packed my new key Cles. So the way I've decided to do it is to have the front door key so I can take it out and open the door without dropping the key. But I've put the key fob, because I have keyless entry, just in loose. And I've got some cash because I need to pay someone, and my debit card down in there. That's going in the front there. I was going to be using this because it matches the bag, but I'm going to put this one away because I don't need both at the same time. And then next to my new key Cles, I've got my mini tangle teaser. I have got quite long hair for me at the moment, and the back of it, when it gets snarled up on jacket collars and stuff, gets really knotty. And then I've just got my AirPods, my Smints. Have I got room for that hand cream? Sarah Chapman Skinny Sis hand cream. Yep. all of that fits. And then in the back, in the zipper, is where I will put my phone. So yeah, I'm really happy to have this one back. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions that I didn't cover, I didn't do dimensions and stuff. I don't do that kind of review because this information is all available easily on the website, and there are other reviewers who've done more of a sort of technical review. But as I said, it's about the same size as those Mulberry ones, and it's virtually identical in size to a Chanel small O case. But again, it's lighter, it's canvas, it's got the key hook and one card slot, which, by the way, you can fit more than one card in that card slot. I'm always just loath to do that because I wouldn't want to stretch it so that the card flies out when you open the item. I don't feel the need to put more than one in there. Oh, in case you were wondering, these arrived today for summer, but I wanted to get them now because they've just launched on Rixo, and I know that I think these will sell out. These are a beautiful kind of shell earring, just really simple. And I know they're very summery, but I couldn't resist, I had to put them on straight away. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.